clubs or types of clubs have you worked in?
When I first started doing security, the owner of the company thought it was a good idea to send us to the worst possible clubs he could. His theory was that if we survived there, he knew we were pretty good. So generally I was working in hip-hop clubs and a lot of Russian establishments.
How many altercations have you been in?
I've been doing this for about 10 years, so I'd say anywhere from 50 to 75 of varying intensities. I've been in clubs where shots were fired, people had knives, sticks, all kinds of stuff.
What's your mindset in a physical confrontation?
My focus is always on the person causing the most damage and making sure that I stay safe and everything works out okay. I watch everything that they do. My job is to try to move as quickly as possible. So as soon as I see them twitch, move the wrong way, I try to get on them as quick as I can before things get out of control.
We're going to be demonstrating one of our instant knockout shots. Where we're going to be targeting is the stomach 9 point in the side of the neck. And what we're going to be using is our forearm. The reason for using the forearm is with little training, the swing of the forearm is a very powerful blow, and it doesn't have to be as focused as, let's say, using the edge of the hand or even the fingers or a punching technique. With this motion, this could come after blocking a punch, this could come off of a grabbing. For his safety, we're just going to demonstrate it off him grabbing. This way, we minimize the motion and nobody gets injured. So we're going to have John grab nice and tight. We're going to focus on this point. We're going to use the forearm. Stop. And we're going to bring him right down.
What is my best bar fight story? I actually have a very funny one. It involved the first time I ever had a confrontation with somebody that was completely drugged out, and I had no experience handling that. I was working in a strip club, which was my first job doing security, and we were trying to throw this guy out, and he didn't want to leave, and he went to attack my partner. So I executed a front kick to his groin area. While he folded forward, it did not have the effect I expected because he wasn't feeling any pain. So being that we were on the second floor, I grabbed his arm and the back of his neck, and I dragged him down the stairs. As I was going back upstairs, he yelled and charged up the stairs as fast as he could. So at that point, I executed a front kick like from the 300 movie and knocked him down about 4 steps. He hit the bottom, his friend grabbed him, they left, thought the whole thing was over. About 3 weeks later, I was upstairs in the club. He comes up again, he comes over to me and he says, "Do you remember me?" I said, "I have no idea who you are." Of course I knew who he was. Immediately he started to get aggressive again, so I did an open hand throat shot. I knocked him back. He came charging me again. I front kicked him again. He's the only person ever that got front kicked twice in the groin by me. Immediately I dropped into a fighting stance knowing that this guy wasn't feeling any pain. Luckily the other 2 security guys grabbed him, dragged him out. This is the last time I saw him.
Okay, as previously explained, the more pressure points you hit, the more damage that you do. So if he were to grab me in a real situation, I would be using one of the arm points, one of the body points, or one of the leg points before I came to the jaw point. What that would do is it would make it actually weaker. But what I want to actually just show you is how, with no setup at all, this one point becomes very sensitive. So as he grabs, we're just going to come from this position. I'm going to go slow so I don't injure him. We're going to come up in the up and out direction. I'm going to have him bite down real tight so he doesn't hurt his teeth. All right, so I'm going to look straight. He's grabbing. We're not going to use a setup. We're going to come in, and it's going to bring him down. We sit him up. We have special revival that we use to wake him back up a little. All right.
Okay, how is training for street self-defense different from training for MMA? Quite simply, it's a matter of rules and strategy. Training for MMA and street defense both involve learning to strike, working on stamina, speed. A lot of physical skills are the same. It's how you employ them. My favorite example is if you put me in the ring with Mike Tyson, he kills me. Yet if we're sitting in a bar and he's next to me and I turn to the side and chop him in the throat, I have a good chance of taking him out. The only way that would work would be by strategy. In a straight-up one-on-one fight, I would lose. In most self-defense situations, we're constantly trying to make sure that we always have every advantage on our side. In an MMA bout, it's usually 2 guys equally matched, equal weight. They know what the other's fighting style is, and it's a matter of training to see who the better guy is on that day. In a real situation, you have no idea what your opponent's skill level is, so the only thing you can control is yourself. So by moving first and being aggressive, generally you can win most situations that way.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to slow this one down a little bit and show why this one was so successful. Basically, as I came out, I was looking around, he approached, I used both arms in an aggressive motion. I didn't back off. That would have been the big mistake. If he would have come in with the punch and I would have started to move back, the power of his punch would have sent me back and he would have just continued. So as he came in, we moved aggressively right into him. We went right for the knockout blow to the neck. 9 times out of 10, he's going to drop, but just in case, we finished with the knee to the bladder points. And then we stepped back and exited as quickly as possible.
Okay, next question. What is my first go-to attack? Actually, I don't have a go-to attack. What I do have is a go-to strategy. My strategy is to move first. So basically, if the person's resisting, whether it's a restraining hold, a choke hold, or a strike, as soon as I see him twitch the wrong way, I'm right on top of him. The actual technique is predicated on what I'm trying to accomplish and what targets are available to me at the moment.